Hello everybody, how are you today? So, this is another how-to video on how to set your gear mesh. This is for all those newbies that just got their car, they need to learn a little bit, and I do it a lot different than just sticking paper in there. I eyeball it. I find it easier to do it that way, and I've never stripped a gear. So, first you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver, unless you got the hex screws. And you're going to need your little wrench to take your nut out. Now, I lost my wrench, so I use a ratchet, which is a 932 socket. And another thing that's handy when you're working on your car is these little magnetic trays. It's I got this from the dollar store for $1. So, it works nicely. So, first, you want to remove your tire. I've already taken the nut out. So, yeah. Next, you remove your gear cover. I've already taken the 2 screws out. And for some reason it's stuck. Huh. There we go. Now, the reason it's stuck is because that screw's coming out right there because I didn't put Loctite on it. So I'm going to have to take my spur off and tighten that up. That's one big tip, is put Loctite with your aluminum parts and screws because the screws just fall out. So you can see my gear mesh. I'm running the, what is that now? The 83 tooth spur. And I believe that's the 28 tooth pinion. As you can see, my gear mesh is like bang on. Okay, so that's pretty much how you get to it. Now I'm just going to set the camera down. I hope it doesn't fall. It's going to fall. I'm going to have to do this while holding my camera. Okay, to set your gear mesh, you got a screw here and a screw down here. Loosen those screws. And give me a minute to find something to put my camera on, so that you guys can see this. I'll just have to hold it. I badly need a tripod, guys. I haven't been to town to buy one and I don't have the money for one. So you loosen that one, and that one only needs to be just a little bit loose. So now you take your motor and you can move it. Okay, so people say put it together and put paper in there. Well, that leaves the tiny little gap. And then you end up stripping your gears. If you got the VXL and a LiPo, you can strip your gears very easily. So what I've done is I just let mine fall in there, and if you can see it, the little teeth that are there, I make sure they go to the little bottom of the gap on the next gear, if you understand what I mean. They fit perfectly, it's not too tight, it's not too loose, and I've never stripped a gear doing it this way. I've done it this way since the second day I've got it. Now, my camera tends to be a little bit fuzzy. I don't know why. I'm going to have to play with it, but usually they say stick paper in there. If I could get good light, I could just shine it there and see, but anyway, I have never stripped a gear, so just take your motor and have it sitting like this. It's out. Put it in. Turn your gears a little bit and look at it. And if the teeth go touch, like the very tip of the tooth, right there, goes into the little gap on the pinion, it's perfect. So now that I'm happy with my gear mesh, mine just kind of falls into place. I don't know why, but it just does. So now that I'm happy with my gear mesh, I can tighten up the screws. Come on, get in there. And voila. Now there's a tiny little gap because I'm holding the camera while doing this, but for now that's good because I can't run my Wrestler right now anyway. With all the snow outside, my talons just don't get enough traction, and the hammers that I have I need rims for, so. One thing with the slipper clutch, when I had my Titan 12 turn 550 motor, I tended to tighten the slipper all the way just on pavement to get traction. Well, you hit things with the tire and the motor takes the force if your tire stops instantly. And the little metal rod that's got all the magnets on it moves and hits the brushes in it, and they fall out. So I always ran mine at about half to a quarter turn out if you tighten them all the way, which is going that way. You do it a quarter turn out or half a turn. But with the VXL I always run it with a quarter turn out because there's enough torque you can still hear the slipper whining no matter what. So, and if I'm on pavement it's pretty tight, but there's just a tiny bit. So, little tip for the spurs, the slipper clutch, and I guess I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. Keep the good times rolling.